Bienvenidos a la Iglesia Divina Misericordia. Hoy celebramos el 24 domingo del tiempo ordinario. Spirit Fest es el próximo fin de semana. Únanse a nosotros para la misa de las 4 p.m. y la diversión continuará durante toda la noche. Los boletos para la comida y la rifa estarán disponibles hoy después de la misa. También aún hay espacios disponibles para los voluntarios. Considérese ser voluntario y ayudar a que el festival sea un éxito. CCW se reunirá este lunes 13 de septiembre a las 6:15 p.m. en el comedor de Santa Faustina. Todos son bienvenidos. Se necesita un catequista más que ayude con las clases de primera comunión. Las clases es de los niños mayores de 7 años. Si está interesado, favor de llamar a Andrea Gibson o Dora Mata. El teléfono está en el boletín. La intención de la misa de hoy es por el eterno descanso de Socorro Elena Reyes. Jesucristo es el don gratuito de amor de Dios para nosotros. Demos gracias y alabemos.
Buenas tardes, favor de ponerse de pie, vamos a empezar con nuestra Santa Misa.
En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. El Señor esté con ustedes. Hermanos y hermanas, para celebrar dignamente estos sagrados misterios, reconozcamos nuestros pecados. Yo confieso ante de Dios Todopoderoso y ante ustedes, hermanos, que he pecado mucho de pensamiento, palabra, obra y misión, por mi culpa, por mi gran culpa. Por eso ruego a Santa María, siempre Virgen, a los ángeles y a los santos, y a ustedes, hermanos, que interceden por mí ante de Dios nuestro Señor. Que Dios Todopoderoso tenga misericordia de nosotros, perdone nuestras ofensas y nos lleve a la vida eterna.
Señor, ten piedad.
Oremos. Señor Dios, creador y soberano de todas las cosas, vuelve a nosotros tus ojos y concede que te sirvamos con todo corazón, para que experimentemos los efectos de tu misericordia. Por nuestro Señor Jesucristo, tu Hijo, que vive y reina contigo en la unidad del Espíritu Santo, y es Dios por los siglos de los siglos.
Del libro del profeta Isaías. En aquel entonces dijo Isaías: El Señor Dios me ha hecho oír sus palabras, y yo no he opuesto resistencia, ni me he echado para atrás. Ofrecí la espalda a los que me golpeaban, la mejilla a los que me tiraban de la barba. No aparté mi rostro de los insultos y salivazos. Pero el Señor me ayuda. Por eso no quedaré confundido. Por eso endurecí mi rostro como roca, y sé que no quedaré avergonzado. Cercano está de mí el que me hace justicia. ¿Quién luchará contra mí? ¿Quién es mi adversario? ¿Quién me acusa? Que se me enfrente. El Señor es mi ayuda. ¿Quién se atreverá a condenarme? Palabra de Dios. Señor, porque escucha el clamor de mi plegaria, porque me prestó atención cuando mi voz lo llamaba. De angustia, de muerte me alcanzaron y me ahogaban. Entonces rogué al Señor que la vida me salvara. Es bueno y justo, nuestro Dios es compasivo, a mí débil me salvó y protege a los sencillos. Libró de la muerte, del llanto los ojos míos, y ha enviado que mis pies tropiecen por el camino. Caminaré ante el Señor por la tierra de los vivos.
carta del apóstol Santiago. Hermanos míos, ¿de qué le sirve a uno decir que tiene fe si no la demuestra con obras? ¿Acaso podrá salvarlo esa fe? Supongamos que algún hermano o hermana carece de ropa y del alimento necesario para el día, y que uno de ustedes le dice, que te vaya bien, abrígate y come, pero no le da lo necesario para el cuerpo. ¿De qué le sirve que le diga eso? Así pasa con la fe. Si no se traduce en obras, está completamente muerta. Quizás alguien podría decir, tú tienes fe y yo tengo obras. A ver, ¿cómo sin obras me demuestras tu fe? Yo, en cambio, con mis obras te demostraré mi fe. Palabra de Dios.
Te alabamos, Señor.
El Señor esté con ustedes.
Y con su espíritu.
Lectura del Santo Evangelio según San Marcos. En aquel tiempo Jesús y sus discípulos se dirigieron a los poblados de Cesarea de Filipo. Por el camino les hizo esta pregunta: ¿quién dice la gente que soy yo? Ellos le contestaron: algunos dicen que eres Juan el Bautista, otros que Elías, y otros de alguno de los profetas. Entonces él les preguntó: ¿y ustedes? ¿Quién dice que soy yo? Pedro le respondió: tú eres el Mesías. Y él les ordenó que no se lo dijeran a nadie. Luego se puso a explicarles que era necesario que el Hijo del Hombre padeciera mucho y fuera rechazado por los ancianos, los sumos sacerdotes y los escribas, que fuera entregado a la muerte y resucitará al tercer día. Todo eso lo dio con eterna claridad. Entonces Pedro se lo llevó aparte y trataba de disuadirlo. Jesús se volvió y mirando a sus discípulos, respondió a Pedro con estas palabras: apártate de mí, Satanás, porque tú no juegas según Dios, sino según los hombres. Después llamó a la multitud y a sus discípulos y les dijo: el que quiera venir conmigo, que renuncie a sí mismo, que cargue con su cruz y que me siga. Pues el que quería salvar su vida, la perderá. Pero el que pierda su vida por mí y por el Evangelio, la salvará. Palabra del Señor.
Tenemos un cambio. yo quiero predicar hoy porque vamos a introducir una campaña para construir un edificio nuevo en el futuro, posiblemente en un año. Creo que es hora de construir. Hemos estado planeando construir una instalación educativa aquí. Hoy quiero que entremos juntos en oración y discernimiento sobre la construcción de una instalación educativa. Hoy comenzamos nuestra campaña de capital. Quiero que nos concentremos en formas específicas en que Dios quiere que construyamos. Cada uno de nosotros puede venir ante Dios y preguntar, ¿cómo quieres que sean generoso con mis finanzas, tiempo y oración? No podemos hacer esto sin que todos participen en la campaña. Hemos tenido un buen comienzo. Tenemos ahora 3.6 millones. Necesitamos que todos sean parte de esos financieramente, oraciones y voluntarios. Confiamos en cualquier forma en que te hagas presente en esta empresa. Le agradecemos de antemano por lo que hará. Sabemos que la mayoría de las cosas que necesitamos y queremos nos son dados, pero nos construirán. Ir tras lo que trae excelencia en nuestra comunidad requerirá sacrificio. Tendremos que estar unidos por nuestro futuro. Salmo 126 dice, los que siembran en las lágrimas cosecharán con gritos de gozo. Este pasaje cobró vida para mí cuando vi la imagen de una madre en África plantando semillas con su bebé en la espalda llorando. La madre y el niño tenían hambre. La madre sabía que podía comer la semilla y que no tendrían hambre durante el día, tal vez una semana, o plantar la semilla y tener comida durante un año. No comas la semilla. Dios te ha dado pan y te da semilla. El pan es para ti. Puedes disfrutar en lo que te has ganado. Pero con la semilla que ahorras, parte de ella. Estas son inversiones y fondos para días lluviosos. Luego regalas para la semilla, para el reino. Si creemos en el trabajo que se está haciendo, entonces lo apoyamos. Dios da un desafío en los Salmos. Él dice que me puso a prueba. Se supone que no debes probar a Dios. es pecaminoso. Dios nos pone a prueba, pero esta es la única vez en las Escrituras donde Dios dice, ponme a prueba. Da generosamente y mira lo que haga con tu sacrificio. Únete a mí en el discernimiento y la oración para plantar semillas para el futuro. There's only one place in Scripture that I've ever found that gives us permission to put God to the test. We don't want to put God to the test. That's sinful. He puts us to the test. But there is one place where we're given permission to put God to the test, and that's with our finances. God says, give your finances for the building of the kingdom and test me to see what I will do for you or for your loved ones or however God creatively does it. It's the only place. See, God gives you and I bread to eat and seeds to plant. We're not to eat the seeds. The seeds are for planting. We can enjoy the bread. We earned our money. We can enjoy that. The bread's for us. The seed we save for that rainy day, for our savings. And then some of the seed we give for the building of the kingdom. We give to the church. We give to our charities. This came alive for me when I was watching a mother in Africa. She had her baby on her back. The baby was crying, and the mother was crying, and they were planting seed. And they were both hungry, and they wanted to eat the seed. The mother knew if they eat the seed, they wouldn't be hungry for that day. Maybe for a week they wouldn't be hungry. But she knew if she could go hungry and make that sacrifice, that they would have food for the year. And that was a powerful image for me. So I want you and I to enter into prayer together, into discernment together. To say, God, do you want us to build an educational facility out here for our community? I've already discerned this. I've come before God and asked Him if this is His will. I am convinced that it is. But each and every one of us needs to do this for ourselves. We need to go before God and say, how do you want me to participate? Do you want me to intercede and pray for it? Certainly. Do you want me to volunteer in some way? Are there any of my financial resources that I can give to this endeavor? God, what do you want me to do? So my prayer for us today is that we get laser focused, we take some quiet time, and we get focused in on discernment with God and prayer with God. God, how do you want me to participate? People went before us, built this beautiful building, gave us this beautiful church, even dating back to the 12 disciples, Mary, the Mother of God, the Holy Family. And every generation is to carry it further, to take the baton and move further. So what I'm asking is for us to get together and decide, how are we to move the kingdom forward? Lord, what is your will in this? How can this educational facility help us to move your kingdom? So I'm just asking us to enter into prayer. Thank you.
Y juntos proclamamos nuestra fe. Creo en un solo Dios, Padre Todopoderoso, Creador del cielo y de la tierra, de todo lo visible y lo invisible. Creo en un solo Señor Jesucristo, Hijo único de Dios, nacido del Padre antes de todos los siglos, Dios de Dios, luz de luz, Dios verdadero de Dios verdadero, engendrado no creado, de la misma naturaleza del Padre, por quien todo fue hecho, que por nosotros los hombres y por nuestra salvación bajo del cielo, y por obra del Espíritu Santo, se encarnó de María la Virgen y se hizo hombre, y por nuestra causa fue crucificado en tiempos de Poncio Pilato, padeció y fue sepultado, y resucitó al tercer día según las Escrituras, y subió al cielo, y está sentado a la derecha del Padre, y de nuevo vendrá con gloria para juzgar a vivos y muertos, y su reino no tendrá fin. Creo en el Espíritu Santo, Señor y dador de vida, que procede del Padre y del Hijo, que con el Padre y el Hijo recibe una misma oración y gloria, y que habló por los profetas. Creo en la Iglesia, que es una, santa, católica y apostólica. Confieso que hay un solo bautizo para el perdón de los pecados. Espero en la resurrección de los muertos y la vida del mundo futuro. Amén. El Señor inclina su oído hacia nosotros y escucha nuestra voz en súplica. Unidos en la fe, nos dirigimos al Padre con nuestras oraciones.
Por la Iglesia, para que el perdón y la misericordia dentro de nuestro rango, como la ira, puede ser dejada de lado y el amor mutuo puede prevalecer, oremos al Señor.
Te rogamos, Señor.
Por quienes ocupan cargos públicos, para que imiten la bondad de Dios, que sea justa y sostenga a los necesitados, oremos al Señor.
Te rogamos, Señor.
Por nuestra parroquia, para que sea una comunidad vivante de oración, evangelización y acción caritativa, oremos al Señor.
Te rogamos, Señor.
Por los pequeños que sufren y soportan la enfermedad y la pobreza, para que Dios pueda redimir su vida de la destrucción y coronarlos con bondad y compasión, oremos al Señor.
Te rogamos, Señor.
Por todos los que han fallecido esta semana pasada, especialmente por Jenny Banger, para que Dios la acoja en su santo reino, oremos al Señor.
Te rogamos, Señor.
Por un gran éxito de nuestra campaña, unidos por nuestro futuro, oremos al Señor.
Te rogamos, Señor.
Padre amoroso, eres clemente, justo y misericordioso. Cuando nos desprecian, por favor, sálvanos. Por Cristo nuestro Señor. Amén. Oren, hermanos, para que este sacrificio mío y de ustedes sea agradable a Dios Padre Todopoderoso. Se propició, Señor, a nuestras plegarias. Acepta bendignamente estas ofrendas de tus siervos, para que aquello que cada uno ofrece en honor de tu nombre, aproveche a todos para su salvación. Por Jesucristo nuestro Señor.
Amén.
El Señor esté con ustedes.
Y con su espíritu.
Levantemos el corazón.
Levantamos al Señor.
Demos gracias al Señor nuestro Dios.
Es justo y necesario.
En verdad es justo y necesario. Es nuestro deber y salvación darte gracias siempre y en todo lugar, Señor Padre Santo, Dios Todopoderoso y Eterno, porque creaste el universo con todo cuanto contiene. Determinaste el cielo de las estaciones, pero formaste al hombre a tu imagen y semejanza, y lo hiciste dueño de un mundo portentoso, para que en tu nombre dominará la creación eterna, y al contemplar la grandeza de tus obras, en todo momento te alabará. Por Cristo, Señor nuestro, a quien cantan los cielos y la tierra, los ángeles y los arcángeles, proclamando sin cesar. Santo eres en verdad, Señor, fuente de toda santidad. Por eso te pedimos que santifiques estos dones con la fusión de tu Espíritu, de manera que se conviertan para nosotros en el cuerpo y la sangre de Jesucristo nuestro Señor, el cual, cuando iba a ser entregado a su pasión voluntariamente aceptada, tomó pan, dándote gracias, lo partió y lo dio a sus discípulos diciendo: Tomen y coman todos de él, porque esto es mi cuerpo, que será entregado por ustedes. Del mismo modo, acabada la cena, tomó el cáliz y dándote gracias de nuevo, lo pasó a sus discípulos diciendo: Tomen y beban todos de él, porque este es el cáliz de mi sangre, sangre de la alianza nueva y eterna, que será derramada por ustedes y por muchos para el perdón de los pecados. Hagan esto en conmemoración mía. Este es el misterio de la fe.
Alabaré
Así pues, Padre, al celebrar ahora el memorial de la muerte y resurrección de tu Hijo, te ofrecemos el pan de vida y el cáliz de salvación. Y te damos gracias porque nos haces dignos de servirte en tu presencia. Te pedimos humildemente que el Espíritu Santo congregue en la unidad a cuantos participamos del cuerpo y la sangre de Cristo. Acuérdate, Señor, de tu iglesia extendida por toda la tierra, y con el Papa Francisco, con nuestro obispo Bernardo, y todos los pastores que cuiden de tu pueblo, llévala a su perfección por la caridad. Acuérdate también de nuestros hermanos que se durmieron en la esperanza de la resurrección y de todos los que han muerto en tu misericordia. Admítelos a contemplar la luz de tu rostro. Ten misericordia de todos nosotros, y así con María, la Virgen Madre de Dios, su esposo San José, los apóstoles y cuantos vivieran en tu amistad a través de los tiempos, merezcamos por tu Hijo Jesucristo compartir la vida eterna y cantar tus alabanzas. Por Cristo, con Él y en Él, a ti Dios Padre omnipotente, en la unidad del Espíritu Santo, todo honor y toda gloria por los siglos de los siglos. Fieles a la recomendación del Salvador y siguiendo su divina enseñanza, nos atrevemos a decir: Padre nuestro, que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino, hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas, como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. Y no nos dejes caer en la tentación, y líbranos del mal. Líbranos de todos los males, Señor, y concédenos la paz en nuestros días, para que, ayudados por tu misericordia, vivamos siempre libres de pecado y protegidos de toda perturbación, mientras esperamos la gloriosa venida de nuestro Salvador Jesucristo. Señor Jesucristo, que dijiste a tus apóstoles: la paz les dejo, mi paz les doy. No tengas en cuenta nuestros pecados, sino la fe de tu iglesia, y conforme a tu palabra, concédele la paz y la unidad, tú que vives y reinas por los siglos de los siglos. La paz del Señor esté siempre con ustedes. Dense fraternalmente la paz.
Cordero
Este es el Cordero de Dios, que quita el pecado del mundo. Dichosos los invitados a la cena del Señor. Señor, no soy digno de que entres en mi casa, pero una palabra tuya bastará para sanarme. Oremos. Que el efecto de este don celestial, Señor, transforme nuestro cuerpo y nuestro espíritu, para que sea su fuerza, no solo nuestro sentir, lo que siempre inspire nuestras acciones. Por Jesucristo nuestro Señor. Amén. En ese momento, invito a todos ustedes a sentirse, invito a los ujieres a pasar algunos papelitos que describe esta campaña de capital. También en este momento vamos a tener un video que describe un poco más de este plan, dónde estábamos, dónde estamos y dónde estaremos. ¿Ok? Sentirse, por favor. También, si necesitas un paquete en inglés, lo tenemos cerca de Santa Cecilia, ¿ok?
Divine Mercy Catholic Church is a vibrant community formed in June 2002 following a request from the leadership of the Faribault Catholic community to Archbishop Harry Flynn that the parishes in Faribault be combined into one parish. We have a deep and strong history in the city of Faribault. In fact, our roots date back to 1847 when the first Mass was held at the home of Alexander Faribault. In the years that followed, the parishes of St. Lawrence, Sacred Heart, and Immaculate Conception were created, grew, and evolved over time. For over 170 years, we have been ministering to the needs of our community. With just as rich of a history, Divine Mercy Catholic School is nearly 160 years old and was the very first parochial school established in the city of Faribault in 1860. Our current parish school emerged from that tradition and the consolidation of our area's first Catholic schools at St. Lawrence, Sacred Heart, and Immaculate Conception in 1969. Until 2005, the joint schools were called Consolidated Catholic Schools. CCS was originally set up to accommodate kindergarten through 8th grade. Today, Divine Mercy Catholic School provides excellence in education to students in preschool through 5th grade. And our 6th grade students are currently located in a cooperative middle school at Bethlehem Academy. And while our facilities, faces, and even our parish and parish schools' names have changed over the years, one thing has remained constant, and that is our unwavering commitment to Christ, to one another, and to the betterment of our community, as well as our commitment to Catholic education and the formation of our young people in our Catholic faith. As a result, our parish is an active community comprised of over 2,400 households today, and we have around 270 students in our school. In addition, we have over 300 young people involved in the religious education efforts in our parish. And, under the leadership of our parish pastor and the principal of our school, there are a variety of ways that people of all ages can participate in our spiritual, educational, social, and service ministries. In 2006, our New Beginnings Capital Campaign launched to start building new facilities on the 40-acre site that was donated to our parish. And this has provided us with a firm foundation for our future in many ways. Dedication of our new church on this site was held on August 2, 2009. Yet, despite our accomplishments and strong heritage of activity, some significant challenges remain. Specifically, we need to address the learning environment provided for our religious education program and at Divine Mercy Catholic School. Currently, we are faced with physical plant needs of deferred maintenance of over $6 million at our school facility and campus. We are landlocked and have run out of space in this facility as well. As a result, our preschool is located in an old convent, and we're not in a position where we can grow our enrollment. And while we do a good job with what we have, our facility has serious health, safety, and security issues. We do not meet state and federal Americans with Disabilities Act regulations for several reasons, one of which is being located in a 2-story building without an elevator, making it difficult for a child or adult with mobility issues to easily access all areas of our existing education facility. Many classrooms, too, have water damage to ceilings and walls and actively leak anytime there's rain. There are defects in the building's foundation, too, which is a serious safety concern. There's also not a playground of adequate size to accommodate our students, so the parking lot doubles as play space. This is less than ideal for our children and poses a safety risk as well. Our gym is a substandard size for playing sports, let alone hosting games and tournaments. Utilities are very costly in the current building too, and maintenance costs only keep increasing. Old radiators have been partially or fully enclosed in our classrooms to protect younger students, but still get very hot all over the building to the touch. Many deferred maintenance items are beyond repair and must be addressed. Our faculty, staff, and volunteers do the best with what they have, but the facility they work out of does not reflect the level of care, welcoming, or excellence in education that we are committed to and provide. And finally, we have a religious education center and parish school that is no longer located close by and connected to our church. This is problematic for several reasons, including the fact that it makes it more difficult to hold student masses and teach our students about the intricacies of our Catholic faith. Plus, the disconnect between our church and school makes it more difficult to identify our school and education facility as Catholic and something that is connected to and a very important part of our parish's overall ministry. This also makes it difficult, if not impossible, to host any faith formation activities on weekends at the church due to a lack of adequate on-campus educational space. We also need to have a larger social space available at our church. When the new church was built, it did not include a fellowship space aside from the church's gathering space, which was designed to only accommodate approximately 70 people comfortably. This restricts our ability to foster fellowship and a sense of unity and community among our parishioners and visitors. With our average weekend Mass attendance of around 350 people per service, this size of space is not very conducive for fellowship. Our lack of ample social space also limits our capacity to host funeral luncheons, wedding receptions, and other special and social events here at our church. We also lack meeting and adult ministry space here at our church. In fact, for many years now, our parish leadership has dealt with the frustration of hearing members' new initiatives for spiritual and social ministries suppressed because our facility does not have the space in which to get them started or support them on an ongoing basis. Some family, spiritual, and social ministries simply cannot be accommodated in our current gathering and other minimal meeting spaces on our church campus, and this limits our ability to enhance community, outreach, and evangelization. In addition, due to having separate church and school locations, we also have separate office spaces for our parish and school offices. Our parish offices are located in an old building originally designed as a residence. As such, its layout and mechanical infrastructure is not welcoming or conducive to the more professional office environment that we both need and seek. Staff offices are scattered throughout the facility and housed in converted living spaces, not professional office spaces. Similarly, our HVAC, lighting, electrical, and plumbing systems were designed for residential use and are not commercial office grade. Finally, the entrance to the office and the office building itself is not ADA compliant, which limits the ability for elderly people and people with disabilities to easily access and move about our offices. Our school office spaces reflect the same problems that we have with the rest of the school building. There is significant water damage, paint is peeling, and it is aesthetically not the welcoming statement we wish to make to our families or what we would like to provide for our staff to work in on a daily basis. It also is not reflective of the excellent education that we both provide and wish to be perceived as providing. So our overall office setup and situation creates a lot of inefficiencies in staffing, supplies, and process. It also prevents us from developing a true sense of community and collaboration among our parish and school staffs. To address these needs, we have an exciting plan which calls for various facility improvements. Because our existing education and school building is an older facility and needs significant and excessively costly improvements to sustain its use in the coming years, and even if improved, it still won't ideally meet our needs, it has been determined that building an all-new education center facility at the site of our existing church would be the most cost-effective, long-term solution to meet our needs, and one that reflects what we value and wish to portray to both our external and internal communities. The construction of this new space will open up a myriad of opportunities and showcase an energizing ambiance and lots of natural light. This new facility will feature a 2-story classroom wing, which will benefit our school families and church families alike. This new education center will support our commitment to academic excellence, support spiritual growth, and create a safe learning environment for both our school and faith formation efforts. Our plan includes new classrooms to accommodate preschool through 5th grade. The layout will be flexible, expandable, and useful to both our schools and our faith formation programs use. Not only will the spaces be designed to be conducive to varied groups, they will also support a range of different learning modalities. We also plan to implement technology that aids teaching and integrates design elements to create acoustic control. We will have new, exciting, and dedicated spaces for music, art, physical education, library, and a resource room to provide support for students with learning differences. This new facility will also have an elevator so that it's fully accessible, not only fulfilling compliance with ADA regulations, but also ensuring that all of our educational efforts are open to every student, parent, and others who visit there, further enforcing the importance of being a welcoming community. We will additionally have a full-size gymnasium with bleachers. This important addition will not only provide ample space, but will be inviting to home and visitor families alike as we support various teams and activities. This space will also allow older students, families, and adults of our parish to use the space for any number of recreational or social endeavors. Our plan will be to provide spaces that are both visually appealing and safe for all users, especially for our community's children. We will also integrate point-of-access security into the design to ensure that entryways can be easily monitored while also considering access control, video monitoring, visitor screening, and student-on-student safety. We will additionally ensure the development of traffic patterns that separate busing and parent pickup and drop-off areas to ensure student safety. With the new education center, our school will be able to attract new students and engage current parishioners. And we will be rid of the consistent repair bills from our current facility, allowing that cash flow to positively impact mission and ministry. We are planning an improved multi-use common space. The heart of this addition will be 2 common areas that can be used separately as a school cafeteria and parish social hall, or joined together for larger parish and school social and other events. Our plan is to have room to hold various activities here, thereby providing greater opportunities for adult ministry involvement and to build parish unity and community in a space that is conveniently accessible to the church and to all. Having this spacious and highly functional space will also serve as overflow space for our most well-attended Masses, such as on the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe and Easter and Christmas Masses. It will also improve our ability to host larger gatherings with ease and efficiency, such as funeral lunches, wedding receptions, quinceañeras, confirmation, Spirit Fest, and Lenten soup suppers. This space will also serve as a potential meeting space for various parish and outside groups, providing us with an opportunity to expand our ministry and outreach efforts with a facility that can also be made available to the entire Faribault community. In addition, we plan to integrate a new administrative office center on our church campus that will include offices for both our church and school. This exciting change will provide a space for future growth, as well as being able to find opportunities for efficiency and effectiveness in regard to tasks, time, office equipment, and supplies. All Divine Mercy staff will be located in a common but administrative office suite that will have adequate storage and all the rest of the basic essentials a parish and school office need to have and provide for its workforce. This new office center will not only allow for, but will also encourage collaboration and teamwork, which we believe will enrich relationships between our church and school. In addition to the office space allotted for staff, we will also have a conference room for more formal or intimate meetings. To address our needs and plans, we are initiating an intensive fundraising effort titled the United for Our Future campaign. Our aim with this important effort is to raise the funds needed to build new education fellowship and office space on our church campus. Our $6 million minimum goal will enable us to break ground and start work on this important project. An $8 million challenge goal has also been set, which, if met, will enable us to fully fund our planned new education center. And finally, reaching our $13 million ultimate goal will enable us to complete the entire project without any lingering debt. In order to reach our financial objectives, we will need both a substantial number of givers and a few fairly substantial gifts. To ensure that we reach our objectives and potential, all members and those with a special interest in our church and cause are asked to consider special gifts over and above their regular contributions. And gifts to our campaign can be made in a variety of ways. Pledges are gifts payable over time, or in our case, over 3 years. Pledges are easier for most and essential to meeting our goal, since it would be impractical, if not impossible, to reach our objectives with one-time out-of-pocket gifts. Pledges may be paid in monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual installments via cash, credit card, or direct deposit, and a 10% or more initial investment is requested. Non-cash gifts are an additional or alternative way to support our cause. These include gifts in kind, such as labor and materials, gifts of securities, such as stocks, bonds, or gifts through qualified charitable distributions, such as IRA rollovers. They also include gifts of real estate, such as marketable land, homes, vacation homes, rental or commercial properties, or valuable personal property, such as precious metals, gems, jewelry, artwork, collectibles, and even new or slightly used and classic automobiles, watercraft, and motorhomes. And finally, deferred gifts are another way you can support our efforts and are gifts that are arranged for now but may not be received until later, as would be the case with gifts of new or fully paid-up life insurance policies, certain types of trust arrangements, or gifts through a person's will by bequest. All non-cash and deferred gifts, however, must be reviewed and approved first by the church. Matching gifts may be a possibility too. In fact, if you serve on the board, work for, or have retired from a company that matches the charitable gifts, you may be able to double or even triple your gift to our cause and church. So, check with the company whose board you serve on, you work for, or have retired from to see if they match gifts to causes like ours. There are also a number of special giving opportunities available to donors of qualifying gift amounts that may be of interest to you. These opportunities show what the church can do with gifts at various levels. They also allow the donor the unique chance of being able to dedicate these gifts in honor or memory of whomever they choose, so long as it's approved. But whatever your gift or method of making it may be, please be assured that your support is both urgently needed and greatly appreciated. Through the prayerful, volunteer, and financial support of many, and the extraordinary support of a few, we will succeed in our task. Won't you please join us in this exciting and essential effort to better our service to one another, to our community, and to Christ?
Bueno, además invito al señor Tony Langerud al frente para hablar un poco con nosotros y voy a traducirla después. Gracias.
Good afternoon. My name is Shane Pemrick. I'm co-chairing with Tony Langerud, and I asked just for a minute from Tony to make two special requests. The first, a project of this type and size and grandeur will only happen with God's goodwill and by His grace, right? And so, first and foremost, during this campaign, I please ask that you pray for this effort. Pray to God that our discernment is good and that our efforts be rewarded and that His will be done. Please, during the campaign, take with you, if you'd like, we have these special prayer cards discerned and written beautifully by our prayer committee. Please pray this prayer as a beginning tool during this campaign with us in spirit, if you would. Second to that, we will have a special prayer vigil gathering on November 20th, and it will happen 1 hour before the 4 p.m. Mass that weekend. It's a special campaign prayer vigil. We'll pray for the hour before Mass. If you would, I have a sign up in the back of church. If you're willing to come and be part of that prayer vigil with us, we would appreciate to have your presence. The second request, 2 weeks ago we asked for you to discern whether or not you might have time, talent, the opportunity to help this campaign through volunteerism. I hope you've had time to discern. Maybe you feel you've been called. Maybe God is asking you to participate. If you would, after Mass, I'll be at the table in the back of the narthex. Please come see me. If God has asked you, if God's calling you to participate, please come and visit, and we would love to have you on board in many ways and forms of volunteer. And now here's Tony.
Bueno, algunas cosas. Primero, con un proyecto de grandeza, lo primero es que Dios hace el trabajo. Y por eso tengo estos papelitos con una oración muy bonita en que ojalá que oremos mucho. También vamos a tener una vigilia de oración el 20, what day of November? El 20 de noviembre, antes de la misa de 4 en la tarde. So, si ustedes quieren ser parte de eso, recuerda esta vigilia de oración. Finalmente, hace algunas semanas, pedimos que llenaran estas formas de voluntarios que estaban en sus bancos. Ojalá que tenían suficiente tiempo de cenar y pensar en esto. Y si quieres ser un voluntario por este gran proyecto, por favor busca Shane en el narthex.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Langerud, and I'm pleased to be a part of this very exciting and important effort as a co-chair with Shane for the future of Divine Mercy Catholic Church and school community. Just a very quick story as to why I'm involved in this. Father Corey and I, about 18 months ago, were visiting about all sorts of different things, and one of the things we spent time talking about are the possibilities that would come with a new educational center and facility. What struck me the most about our conversation was the focus on ministry. And in a world so challenged and divided right now, we are all looking for some sense of peace and order and truth. And although buildings don't make our hearts right,
They certainly help facilitate the call that each of us has to truly be the best versions of ourselves for God and through God and in God. And that is ultimately why I'm here today. And so we need everyone to be involved, and at a very minimum, I encourage each of us to pray that God's will be done with this campaign. Today, each of us are being invited to prayerfully consider how we'll participate in this exciting campaign that truly lays the foundation for ministry today and for generations to come. And as we seek to do God's will, let us all commit to, as I say, the 3 P's. To prayer, pray that His will be done. Participate. As you know, many hands make light work. And pledge. Pledge to stretch your best as you can with your financial support. Thank you for considering how you might participate in this incredible effort for our community.
Bueno, se llama Tony Langerud y está muy emocionado de hablar con ustedes sobre este proyecto. Hace casi 18 meses, Padre Cordy y él estaba hablando de diferentes cosas, pero también de la posibilidad de un nuevo edificio de educación y facilidades. Y que lo tocó más era la posibilidad de tantos ministerios en este edificio. Y en un mundo tan dividido y con tantos problemas, estamos buscando la paz y la tranquilidad y el amor que Dios traiga. Y cuando es cierto que un edificio no traiga esto, es también cierto que facilita esto. Entonces, está aquí para pedir que todos están incluidos con este proyecto en 3 maneras: en oración, en como servicio y en donaciones. Muchísimas gracias por su participación en este trabajo por la comunidad. Right? Tal vez un aplauso por ellos. Right? Gracias. Todos de pie, por favor. El Señor esté con ustedes. Que la bendición de Dios Todopoderoso, Padre, Hijo y Espíritu Santo, descienda sobre ustedes y permanezca para siempre. Amén. Como hijos de Dios podemos ir en paz.
Demos gracias a Dios.